Yeah, just what are kind of the emotions, kind of looking back on the year as a whole? Obviously, it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but like, how do you kind of reflect on what this year meant for you?
Yeah, it's just one word that comes to mind, just gratitude. I just feel so blessed just to be a part of this amazing team. Yeah, we become a family, and through the ups and downs, we've stuck together. I'm just so proud of us, how we persevered the whole season. We've through all the injuries, all the changes, and we still were able to make it to the playoffs, which is a big goal of ours. And end on a high note, end with our heads held high. And I'm so proud of us.
Just going off that, Temi, how would you say that this team differs from other teams you've played on throughout your career?
Yes, we are definitely more connected, I would say. Like I said before, we are a team of 6 women, and so that in itself is completely different from any other team around the league, just in terms of, not having any go-to superstar or two, that other teams typically have. We all know our worth, and we all know how much we can bring to the team. Anyone can step up any given night and carry us and help us or whatever. And so that's the beauty of us, that's our strength. We're all very selfless, and we all want what's best for the team. So.
Cheryl Reed talked a little bit about how, your comments a couple weeks ago about booing the opposing team and how that resonated, and they felt that last night. What does it say about just when you make a comment like that and then it actually comes to fruition and the fans are listening? What does that say about the fan base and just the connectivity between the team and the fans?
No, it's amazing that the fans responded. I didn't ask anyone to boo anyone. I did not say that. They took it upon themselves to do that. All I said was make them feel uncomfortable. So hey, that's what they gotta do to do that. And I'm all for it. Respectfully, of course. But yeah, no, I'm so thankful. Wanted to make a post just for the fans, just saying how grateful I am for their connectedness as well to us. Like they love us, and it's more than just basketball, and you can tell it's deeper. They're inspired by us as women, and you look in the children's eyes and in the stands, and you just see them light up and know that what you're doing is for like a bigger purpose. When you're able to inspire people, it means something, and it makes things more worth it, rather than just putting a ball in a hoop. It's more than that. So I'm just really grateful for the fans' support throughout the season and their growth as well, because they've definitely grown in many ways and adapted. So yeah, thank you, fans.
Natalie's called you like this voice in the locker room, this leader who he brings everyone together. Could you talk about that experience of being this vet and being this unifying force for the locker room?
Yes, I find that in most, if not all, of the teams I've played on throughout my career, that's kind of just been the role I've been handed. In a sense, it's just a natural thing that happens because I've become quite a vocal person. I've not always been vocal throughout my career. Started off playing tennis, and that's a very individual sport. And so coming to basketball is where you got 10 other people, 11 other people on your team. It's like, oh, you can't be an introvert here. You have to help. You have to be selfless. You have to talk. You have to give eye contact. Do all the things that you don't want to do, and that doesn't come naturally. So just growing in that aspect throughout my career, I'm very proud of myself for that, and I still have a lot to work on in terms of being a better leader, but I'm grateful for my teammates and my coaches for accepting me in that role and listening to me.
Temi, what are your plans for the off-season? Are you going to play overseas, or what's kind of next for you?
Yeah, I'm planning to play overseas, planning to go to China, so that will be soon. Thankfully I have a little bit of a break so I can rest any niggles and aches and pains and rest my mind, go to the beach. That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
2 quick questions.
Yeah.
How's the knee doing? And secondly, are there any specific memories you're going to take away from the season?
The knee is okay. Got an MRI, so we're gonna see what comes from that. But it's the end of the season, so we're just resting right now. We're good. And any memories from the season? You know, it's amazing because we were just reminiscing yesterday, my teammates and I, just about how we've created this culture, you know, from the ground up. And, you know, even from pre-game, the chant that we do, you know, like that's us. We created that, and now that's become part of Valhalla and, you know, the culture of here. And it's just amazing that we started it. So I'm just gonna remember all the firsts, you know, all the firsts that happened during this season, and all the laughs all in the locker room, you know, all those fun memories that we made. So there's a lot to be grateful for.
I know going into this offseason, there's some uncertainty with the CBA, but what are you prioritizing for your free agency, and would you like to be back here next year?
Yeah, I'd love to be back here next year. We'll have to see. I truly don't know how things are going to go. Everything is going to be up in the air. Like, you know, we have 2 more teams, right, coming. So then we're going to have another draft, and then another, you know, expansion draft with the protections and all of that. So who knows how things are going to go. Everyone is up for grabs. So let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Just given the number of times that you played the Lynx, did they seem to become like a rival by the time you guys made the playoffs and you played the game last night?
Yeah, I mean, it's only normal that a team would that you've seen multiple times would become, especially if you haven't beaten them, they become like your Achilles heel. So I wouldn't call it a rivalry, but because we haven't beaten them yet. But they are definitely annoying as hell. And props to them, they're a great team, you know, and they just showed us, exposed all our weaknesses and where we need to get better. Like, we cannot make mistakes playing against a team like that. They're just too good, and they will capitalize on our mistakes, which they did. So, growth, learning points from that, and hopefully we can move on and be better.
How close were you to giving it a go last night, and what was that like for you, just having to watch from the bench?
Yeah, excruciating, that's for sure. It was a last minute decision, just with the way the knee was looking and feeling, and just had to be smart about my body and not let my competitiveness cloud my judgment. So I had to make the right choice. And hey, it looked like the right choice for a long time in that game until the last quarter. Right? You kidding? They did great without me. Maybe that's the key.
Temi, just as someone who's been a player rep during CBA negotiations and all that, just like how important is this moment for the league just to kind of get this offseason right, and what would you like to see accomplished in these negotiations?
Yeah, there were definitely some talking points I needed to have remembered that they wanted me to say, but hey, I just want, like we've all been talking about, it's just a fair treatment, you know, a fair piece of what we're owed, what we deserve. Like, we are the business at the end of the day. You know, without the players, we don't have a business. So keep that in mind and pay us accordingly. That's all we've asked for. It's not too much.
And you mentioned how for you players, it's very much like fingers crossed with all the moving pieces and uncertainty. But even through that, and given that there's a lot that you don't know, are there conversations with this team about how you can kind of build on this for next year? Or is that something that's not happening with the uncertainty?
Yeah, there's so much uncertainty on what can we really say, you know? All we know is that the people who we have now is a great foundation to build upon, and everyone can see that. So how many of us can you keep together is the question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Temi.